This morning we're in Eyam, which is again in Derbyshire, and it is a little village that had the plague here in the 17th century. Part here, which we headed towards the Eyam Museum, which is there, and there is this one you pay and display here, but if you just go literally at the top there, it's free parking.
So we're in the middle of Eyam village, and we've come to the stocks, which is where when people did wrong, they used to punish them by putting them in the stocks and throwing tomatoes and rotten veg and God knows what else at them, dirt and stones. So Joanne's just giving it a blast. Look. Well, it's not the original piece of wood, but it's the general idea. Probably lock your shoulders, I don't know. Unless that was a neck bit that went through there.
No, your neck, you didn't.
Yeah, because they fasten it after.
Oh.
And then throw rotten cabbages and pig poo at you and stuff. I don't know.
Hello. Let me out. I've not done anything wrong. Let me out. This little row of cottages here are actually called the plague cottages, and it's where people lived. Mary Hatfield, formerly Cooper, lived here with the two sons. So she actually survived.
That's stunning.
She survived and lost 13 relatives. And that's what they're saying. Some people just had immunity to the plague.
5 members of the family.
Oh, this is really sad. I mean, they're just a tiny little village. Nowhere near London.
But it's isolated as well, isn't it?
Yeah, nowhere near London. And this happened. We're now in the church in Eyam, the graveyard. Who knows, I do like churches. Oh, and a cenotaph. I do like seeing a cenotaph. Obviously, some of the plague victims are going to be buried in here then.
Definitely, yeah. There's really old graves as well anyway.
Yeah. Going to the church and have a little look. And there is a plague window here in the church. There it is. Wow. I can't get any closer because I don't want to stand on graves. I'm going to go and try and go around this way. But that cross there is from the 8th century. 8th century! Anthony, that is way before the Jacobites and William Wallace. Just, I have to put it a bit easy terms for you, don't I, when it comes to history?
Simple terms.
Yeah. Quite emotional. There's a red rose on top of the grave. There is still descendants living in the village from...
Oh, yeah, there will be,
because people did survive it.
Mm. People don't tend to know where to place this sort of stuff, so if they farming industries and stuff like that.
I'm stood outside the church in Eyam, which is a beautiful church. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of a story. Not a story, a little bit of history to do with Eyam. Not that I'm that good on it, I'm not as up to date as I probably should be, but what little knowledge that I know, basically. Eyam is in Derbyshire, and in 1665 the tailor in Eyam bought some cloth from London. The cloth arrived and it was damp, which will have been back of a carriage all the way up. It's a long way from London, and he laid it out to dry. It soon became apparent that the cloth was flea ridden, and the fleas were from rats, and rats was carrying the bubonic plague down in London. It wasn't long that the tailor's assistant died from the plague, caught the plague and died very quickly. Within weeks, people was dying all in the village of Eyam. The pastor at the time made a very, very difficult decision. They decided to close Eyam off completely. No one was allowed in, nobody was allowed out. They literally went into isolation, and because of their actions they saved thousands of people's lives, because the plague could have really spread up here. And their actions, there is a stone where people used to leave money soaked in vinegar, Anthony remembers rightly. And we're just having a walk round.
Boundary stone.
Yeah, and I think because we've gone through COVID,
little understanding.
You have a little bit more of understanding, but some very, very brave decision, and they must have been very scared.
Still in Eyam village, this is a really pretty part. We're just going to have a look at this map over here because we're trying to find the boundary stone. It's a gorgeous little village. I have been a long, long time ago when I was at school. But I don't remember it being as big as this, but then I probably didn't pay quite as much attention when I was at school. So let's look at this map. Seeing the Celtic cross. Boundary stone, that's what I want to try and find. Well, that's not a bad thing, is it?
No.
You're quite impressed, aren't you?
Do you know what? I'm gutted I never got here when I was at school.
You'd have loved it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. This is the village square. This here, Lydgate, was the old main road into Eyam village. And we're just walking along here. We're hoping it doesn't start to rain, to be honest. And Moggs, over there, is going to give me a little bit of a history about this. He actually knows something that I didn't really know much about. Go on then, over to you.
We're going to find the boundary stone, which is on the outskirts of Eyam village. Eyam village was isolated by choice to try and stop the spread of the plague in the north.
They kept it contained in the village.
Boundary stone is a stone where the villagers used to leave money in exchange for goods, I believe, if I am right. And
what did
it
they do
used
with
to
the
leave
money?
it in vinegar to, what's the word, disinfect in a way. So we'll go and find that. I have seen it before, a long time ago, but we'll see if we can find it. Is it through the farmyard?
Yeah, he said it goes.
Is it that way?
No, he said it looks like you're going through boundary stone.
Okay. Let's go find the boundary stone.
Look, they kept it. It was a long way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on the outskirts of the village, and I mean, we're going down this. I hope we're going the right way. It's meant to be about a kilometre down here, which shouldn't take us too long to find, to be fair.
Farmyard.
Yeah, it's a much bigger village than I actually initially thought it was, to be fair. I thought it was a tiny little village. It's probably extended a bit, to be fair, hasn't it, over the...
Yeah.
But we'll go find the stone.
Well, actually, Anthony, no. I don't think... You think there's graves. We've just walked past some graves there.
Yeah.
So obviously they were there when it was the plague. They are plague graves.
Yeah. Sneak through the gate here, look.
But the people never realised
Just watch this.
how, like all these years afterwards, people are still talking about it. Oh, pretty surroundings.
We're still walking down this little country path. Do you know?
We weren't expected to do this, so we haven't put our walking boots on.
Oh yeah.
But if you're going to do the boundary stone, maybe if you've got boots, put them on. What
I know it's not going to be far down here though. When you start questioning yourself, when you get into a real thin path and there's nettles and stuff everywhere, you start thinking, are we sure we're going the right way? But
we've just passed 4 people though.
I'm pretty sure we are. We're going.
Is it?
That's what's in front. No,
it might be. You keep saying you think you remember it, but if there's only 10.
Joanne, I remember it.
Okay.
Just trust me.
I just can imagine a group of kids traipsing down here.
Oh yeah.
It was in your year at school.
It was out. It was in middle of nowhere. I just seem to remember. I'll soon find out.
Nowhere.
That's it, on top of that hill. There you go, I'm right. I knew it was. Sure it is. Dog on lead.
Okay.
Joanne didn't believe I'd get her here, and we're in the. She thinks we're just in the middle of a sheep field.
Yeah, but Anthony, I've had bad experience in the field.
She says she's had a bad experience in a sheep field. This is the very famous, very understated boundary stone. This is where they used to leave the money. And there's a little dip in the top. Here we go, there's even a plaque and a board telling you. There you go.
I don't know what way you come.
That's
Got a little hole in it, like
yeah,
you said.
that's exactly how I remember.
Wow. This is the boundary stone. Morgs was right about the holes. He said there was holes in it where they used to put the money so they could leave it in vinegar to disinfect it. And they used to walk here, leave the money, and other villagers would come and leave the goods, and it must have been very, very frightening.
Well, it's quite away from the village actually, isn't it?
Which obviously they have done because they've left it.
But this would have been the main thoroughfare.
This was the main road into Eyam, that's what they
to
said.
the other villages which are obviously over there. You're impressed, aren't you?
I'm impressed, I've done it.
I've dragged you into a field to see a stone and you're impressed.
Sheep, and you know what I'm like normally about sheep, so yeah, I'm impressed.
Okay.